What you doing, Zia? Go get the ball. Get the ball. Get the ball. Get the ball. Yeah. Get the ball, you crazy dog. Got that kung fu grip. God. Guys, what is up? Welcome back to the channel, boys. If you guys are new to the channel, welcome, guys. We continue, we're gonna call this the Swap Chronicles, boys. The Swap Chronicles is still going on. As you guys remember, on the last video we did, we went ahead and took all the old AC stuff from underneath the dash, got that all removed out. Now it is time to do a little bit of prep in here so we get this thing smoothed out and ready for some paint. But first things first, boys, we're gonna go ahead, we gotta basically smooth this firewall out enough to put a block off plate. But you guys can see the issue what we got going on right here. You see this outer lip, you see how that sticks out? So if you put anything here, it's just gonna teeter-totter, it's not gonna sit flush. So what we want to do is try to get all these holes, anything that's going to prevent that, whether we got to get the grinder out or anything we got to do to get this thing flush. So whatever you guys might have at home, boys, it'll work. Trust me, there's nothing fancy, nothing special. You just got to hit this down, make it nice and flat. You got a bunch of little spots up here, boys, that are kind of sticking out, a bunch of little bumps and stuff. So let me show you. As a matter of fact, there's one other spot here that you're going to want to worry about. It's right up there. That hole there, boys, same thing. You're going to want to do that little raised edge sticks up. We're going to have to flatten all that stuff out. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to be using. You crazy dogs, get out of here. All right, boys, so this is just a little kit from O'Reilly's, believe it or not. Nothing crazy. You guys can go pick this up at O'Reilly's. Any auto parts store should probably have something like this. It's a auto body kind of repair kit kind of thing, but you should have it. It should have some nice flat hammers that you guys can use to bang all that stuff down. Like I said, if you do not have anything like that, you can just use a grinder, boys, with a flap disc and kind of just smooth that stuff down. But we're gonna try the hammer trick first, and then we'll be ready for our block off plate. I'll show you guys the block off plate I'll be using, boys, here in a short bit. And it'll look really clean. It'll have a nice bead roll on it. Not to mention, we're gonna have to tack weld it on and all that good stuff. There she is right there. So we're gonna have to smooth this out right here, try to get that flat so that a plate, because that plate comes up and comes into here and then cleans all this stuff up as well. Now we will end up using this hole, but we're gonna end up making our own holes for those heater lines later on. But we're gonna smooth this out here, this ring, along with this guy here. So like I said, whatever you guys got, but the hammer is going to be your best friend. But if you have something to put on that back side to help you flatten that out, like I said, like this bad boy right here, this thing really works well. Put your hand behind it, and then while you hit it, it'll give you a nice flat surface. Hammering time, baby. That was a little bit of work, boys. It's kind of hard right here. If you don't have the fender off, it's going to be a little harder. But we kind of got this guy down somewhat flat. This is definitely going to be the hardest part, probably. What you really can do is, if you really want to, get out the grinder, the flap disc, but you end up going to basically ripping it up a little bit, putting a hole in there. But we got that down quite a bit. So what we'll do is we'll test fit the panel first and see how flush it actually sits throughout the whole thing. And if we feel like there's certain areas where we need to keep hitting down, don't be afraid to do so. But boys, let's see if we can go grab that. All right, boys, this is that firewall plate I was telling you guys about. Same plate. This one just was sitting out a little bit, got a little surface rust on it, nothing crazy, that'll just wipe right off. But as you guys can see, how it has the bead roll in here, so that way it really gives that firewall a nice look when you do your swap, boys. Now I know you guys, what you're gonna first question is, do you make this for a different type of car or another G body, A body? I'm fortunate not, boys. The only ones I have it available for is 68 through 72 A bodies, boys. That's the only fit that this will work for. So I do not make them. I'm sorry, boys, I do not. But if you guys have a 62, I'm sorry, if you guys have a 68 through 72 A body, that should work for you guys. Now, another thing you guys are gonna need, obviously, some drill bits, a drill, and some fasteners. So I use these guys here. They use them in a lot of metal working, boys. They're called, I believe the proper name for them is called the Glico's locks, something like that. But they're a fastener, and you make your hole here, right, on the firewall. And then this guy right here, you put one on there at the end, you snap it in, and it really helps keep everything tight and holds everything in place, especially if you're gonna end up welding this thing on. So what I'll do is I'll drill a couple holes, mock it up, and then I'll show you guys what it kind of looks like. Check the fitment as well, make sure our firewall is nice and flat. Zia, what are you doing, dog? You come back from work, go get it. We got it on, baby. You guys can see those fasteners work really well, boys. Those things hold that nice plate nice and tight against the firewall. And I do suggest, boys, when you guys make those holes, make sure you guys use a smaller drill bit. That way those fit nice and snug in there and it keeps that plate tight. But if you have to, you could always drill a couple extra holes wherever you feel it needs to suck down that panel into the firewall. But you guys can see we got a pretty good fit. We've had a few people hit me up and asking how the fitment was. Well, you guys can see for yourself, it's pretty dead on, boys. I mean, I'm really happy with it. Fits nice and snug. I'm really happy with how flush it's looking like right now, especially with us just banging against this firewall. You guys can see. I'll get a little closer for you guys. Got a really nice fit, boys. So we're probably gonna end up welding this thing in, but I do gotta take it back off one more time, boys, because what you wanna do is grind around the areas you're gonna be welding. So I just grind around all the edges and stuff like that. That way we get a nice, good surface to weld on. But you guys can actually put this on any way you like, boys. If you guys wanna just use rivets, I think rivets would actually look pretty cool, but we're gonna go ahead and weld it on. But rivets would actually look pretty cool if you ask me. If you guys are interested in any of the stuff I used today, boys, I will put a link down in the description below, including my firewall panel as well, boys. But these, you got to get them while you can, boys. They're limited, and if they run out, they run out. You're going to have to wait on the next batch. Not to mention, boys, you guys got to stay tuned for the next video. Hopefully by the next video, I will have everything painted, believe it or not, and all that jazz, body work and everything else like that. One other thing, we're not going to drill our holes quite yet, boys. We want to wait on a few parts to come in for our wiring. So what I like to do for the wiring, guys, on the actual main harness on the motor, I like to drill a hole right in the center of this guy right there. I like to drill a nice hole for our harness to go there. Not to mention we got to drill the holes out for the all the AC lines, heater hose lines and things like that. So you guys got to stay tuned. You guys got to hit the subscribe button. Once again, smash that thumbs up, and you guys already know, stay wrenching.